Hello, good afternoon. This is Dr. Fix. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing fine. Well, what we got here today, we're talking about a bad BCM. What is BCM? BCM means body control module. So, body control module is one of the modules inside your car that has been linked together with the help of a CAN bus, which is also called your car area network, which in that way they can be able to communicate effectively with the TCM, with the ECM, with some of the control modules inside your vehicle. So when the BCM goes bad, there are some sort of symptoms which you're going to be seeing, which I'm going to be listing here in this very video here today. So you also to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. By the way, if you're coming to my channel for the first time, subscribe to my channel now and turn the notification icon on while we ride. In automobile mobility, as we can see today, there is a lot of advancement in technology, and there are different functions in the car system, such as the engine management, which is the ECM, the BCM, the body control module. Then we have some other modules also that controls the safety restraint system that also that works with the OCS, the occupant classification system, and a lot of other control modules and ABS and all that. So the body control module in its own way is very unique to dealing with some other problems, other problems inside the car, solving some other problems, helping you to relate those information as you want it when you make an input command, such as you want to lock the door, you want to on the light, and all that. So the first symptoms which I'm going to be which is very obvious, which is very, very common with most BCM when they fail, is intermittent power on. In different cases, it could be door locking, it could be light. When you start seeing that your light, sometimes just your headlamp just pop up, or your tail light just pop up, or your blinker, your transfigator light, it just pop up when you have finished shutting down the car. Or maybe like you have a Mercedes and the dome light wouldn't shut off even after when all the doors are locked in. For some times it couldn't go off. That's a typical sign of a faulty BCM, because the BCM is actually tasked to control these utilities for the convenience of the car owners. But if they go bad, then they can actually operate those erratically without your permission. They can have a mind of their own to decide to do anything. The number two symptoms of a bad BCM is constant power drain, and which you call a parasitic draw. When you're having a parasitic draw in your car, uh, it's not that there is not going to be some sort of power draw in your car, but there are some certain level it should be. And when it goes above that level and outside the permissible range, then there is something that actually prompting it. And most often times, your BCM is actually one of the culprit that actually draws a lot of power from the battery and drain your battery overnight if it goes bad. So when you're troubleshooting a power battery drain or some sort of parasitic draw in your car, you also want to check for your BCM and make sure that it's in a good condition. Most of the times, the BCM can be located here or underneath the seat. But if it's yours, it's not within those areas, then you need to refer to your manufacturer's repair manual to know exactly, or your owner's manual to know where your BCM are. Number three symptoms of a bad BCM is crank no start. How does that happen? A lot of you guys are going to be a little bit shocked with this, because you've known that most often times what is responsible for starting up your car or controlling every input sensors in your car is the ECM. But in this case, you were talking about a bad BCM creating a crank no start issue. Now, I want you to understand that most of the control modules in your car are linked together with the help of the CAN bus system, the car area network. And what that means is there is a communication through that line. The communication line, they can high and they can low, right? But if suppose one of these modules here are defective enough to create a disruption inside the system, it's actually going to affect the others. I've seen some other cars that will not start, like a Honda that will not start, a crank and start. And where the problem is actually coming from is not the ECM, the TCM, or the BCM, but the ABS control module that's constantly pulling down the power from the communication line. And when once there is a disruption in that communication line, the car will crank and will not start. So when next you're troubleshooting a car that cranks no start, if you have any some sort of you want to check for your BCM, because most of the times where it's located there can be a moisture damage or some sort of a mechanical damage, and if there is any some sort of things like that, then the car will crank and not start. The fourth symptoms of a bad BCM is issues with your remote not locking your door, your remote fob. When you start noticing your key fob is no more locking your door, you press it and it won't respond. The first thing you want to do here is to get a OBD scanner, then find a connector port, which is most often time underneath the dashboard. After finding the connector port right there, you connect it and scan the body, go to the body control module inside the mainframe of the computer, not the ECM, not the ABS. So when you go inside right there, you want to check for that very door, because if I want to demonstrate this right now, it's going to take more time, right? But it's going to actually tell you that if it is the left driver door, the door at the back of the driver is going to tell you the left rear door control module inoperable, or operation below threshold parameter, or shut to the ground. If he speaks that language, the problem doesn't mean that the body control module is bad, but the control module in that very door that you need to check. But here is typically where the door control module is, that is linked with the BCM. So if it goes bad, this door will not lock with your remote, but you can actually lock it manually. So this, you're going to be actually see most of this very common with most guys who have a VW like me. You're gonna be seeing something like that. So if you have it right there, don't think that the BCM is bad, but in some case, if you have actually replaced it with a good one and the problem persists, then the BCM is actually the problem. And I've actually talked about this, but it's still a symptoms. The other one is that the remote is not responding. The other one, the next one here, is that the door is not unlocking. It's either not locking or unlocking. If before you troubleshoot this kind of problem, like I said previously on the other point right there, it is imperative that you replace the door control module, which you see right there in the door. And if the problem persists, well, the problem is actually the BCM. Another way to troubleshoot this kind of problem, if you have to know if it is the BCM that is the problem, is if it is occurring. No, if it is occurring in one door and you replace the control module, it's the BCM that is bad. But if it is occurring in all the doors, all right, that is also equated to the BCM, because it's the BCM that all the doors are routed to. That is not just only that one too. All right, there are some other factors also you have to consider. Although that is not exhaustive to say that sometimes even one door can be faulty, and it could be a wiring problem and not actually a bad BCM. So you want to make sure that you rule the wiring out of the equation and the control module from the door out of the equation before you can go ahead and say that it's actually the BCM that is bad. If you have done that, certify that, and all the parameters, all the electrical signals that are supposed to be supplied to that very door is in order and still doesn't work, then the BCM is a problem. The next symptoms is the automatic window not responding. Automatic window not responding can stem from different kind of problems, such as bad motor, bad master switch, right? Corrosion in the terminals, if suppose there is no rubber to actually prevent some sort of moisture occurrence inside there. But if these three things are ruled out of the equation, and power, if the power is there, the connectors are fine, the motor, the door motor, the window motor is good, the mechanism is not bad, right, and there is no corrosion, then the problem is from the BCM. But now let's take a look at it. If the motor is in a good condition and you are not getting power right there, The BCM is responsible for sending that power there. The power is not coming straight from the engine, no. The power that is actually controlling the motor and all that is actually coming from the BCM. A complex one is actually routed to the BCM. It's not just the door. It's not just a power from the battery and the switch, no. Because if it is not routed there, then it's not possible for your remote to actually lock all the doors at the same time, or even lock to wind up the remote. For most European models, if you held down the lock button and hold it down for a long time, if it is locked, all the windows are going to wind up because it's directly connected to your BCM. And if you press the unlock button, down button, this unlock button, and hold it down for a long time, all the windows are going to wind down. The next symptoms of a bad BCM is the security issues. The security issues, you can see some sort of a security issue as the key light flashing on your dashboard, immobilizer, where you start a car and the car stalls, the car shuts down. But before you go in there to condemn that the BCM is actually bad, because the BCM is actually tasked to take up that responsibility whenever you are coding a brand new key or some sort of a spare key into the car, you're actually coding directly. Your coding is going to the body control module, not the ECM, right? But the ECM is going to be aware because it's connected through the car area network, CAN bus system. Now, if suppose before you can be able to actually condemn that, you want to make sure that your key fob here, there is a transponder chip right there. The infrared chip there is in a good condition, it's not broken. Then the next thing you want to check also for some other cars is the battery. There is battery. Some other car uses battery to actually power up their own. I don't know if it's a Bluetooth, but it's definitely not infrared. So if the battery is bad, then it's not going to be getting any signal and the car is going to start install. So if this is ruled out of the equation, you have a very good battery, you have a very good transponder chip, and the ring here is not damaged for any reason, but the heart actually goes bad, then one of scan look for any error code related to that. If there is no any error code, then the BCM could actually be the culprit causing those mess. The last one here, which is the symptoms of a bad BCM, is the AC climate control not working. The AC climate control is part of the body control system, because the power here is also coming from when we talk about the body control modules, all these utilities inside the car is being controlled. Your dim light, your radio, the power coming from the radio, right? And the AC systems are all coming from the body control system, body control module. So if the AC climatronics is not powering on or is not operable, I'm not talking about when you have it on, when it gets stuck on ACON mode, no, but when you're saying that there is no any light coming from here, the first thing you want to do is actually to look for the fuse, because some of them actually have fuse that actually controls them. But if it is a system that doesn't have fuse that controls them, then there is every tendency that the body control module is bad. It's taking power directly from the body control module. The last one here is going to be error fuel gauge. When you're seeing some sort of fuel gauge reporting error and not showing the accurate quantity of fuel that's present in your car, especially most Mercedes model, you have a bad rear SAM control module, which actually plays the role of body control module in most other cars. So you want to go ahead and get it replaced or repaired, and that should be solving your problem. So guys, I hope this helped you to resolve the problem of BCM with these 8 symptoms of a bad BCM. I hope to catch you on the next video. Bye for now. Do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. I remain Dr. Cool Auto Fix. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Cool Auto Fix. Now that you know this sensor capability, symptoms and location, subscribe to my channel now and turn on your notification for more free information on how to fix your car by yourself. Bye for now.